Okay, so it says we're live, and I see people already confused because, well, yeah, I totally forgot to schedule a live stream today. It's been hectic. So we've been gone. We've been gone all day long. We went and celebrated Easter and early Easter with Tiffany's family because we're going to be celebrating Easter with my family next weekend. So we're just kind of spreading the love, so to speak. And we literally, I just spit everywhere. Okay. We literally just pulled in the driveway. She's trying to rush and get stuff thrown out the window so we can cook. I'm trying to scramble and get stuff plugged in and the computer going. So there ain't no telling. I'm sure we're probably about to have us a technical difficulty. Hopefully everybody can see us and hear us. Well, I can hear us on your phone,
Yeah,
so I guess we're good.
we're good.
So it's been hectic. I'm scatterbrained. I'm everywhere. So y'all bear with us. I mean, we just got home, and I didn't think.
We're out.
Yeah, well, we stayed later than we should, and then we got looking ahead on our app, planning the trip home, and it said wreck on the interstate. So we had to get off the interstate like probably way over an hour away from here and take the back roads home just to make sure we didn't get in bumper to bumper traffic. So we're here. So it is April the 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. Welcome, everybody. If you're watching this back later, by all means, leave a comment. We just may not be live, and we'll wake up tomorrow or whenever it may be and respond back to you. And I want to go ahead and caution everybody. We typically have technical difficulties on these live streams. Last week, we cut off about 7 minutes in, had to start another one. So if you see us have any glitches, any technical problems, we may have to cut the live stream off and restart it. I still don't know what the heck
We'll
happened last
always
week.
restart it.
We will always restart it. So wait for a notification to pop back up. So I don't know. Y'all let me know if it starts buffering and giving you issues. There's not really a whole heck of a lot we can do. All I know is our internet's great during the week, but sometimes we have, well, app problems, YouTube problems. Sometimes I accidentally unplug the camera as we're moving it around. It's always something. So welcome. We have quite a few people in the house here. Looks crazy with all these gifted memberships and stars that everybody has. So welcome everybody, including members that didn't even know they were members, because everybody's been gifting those things left and right. I see Zoe says hi. Hello, Eric,
Hey.
Zoe, and family. And we got quite a few people here. Everybody's already kind of having their own chat. So by all means, if you're new, let us know. Don't be scared. We don't.
Sorry, I'm wiping my eyes because the fan is literally blowing my tears out of my eyes.
And we literally have to have the fan going because there's gnats everywhere. Welcome to hot and muggy Florida. Sorry I'm making you cry on camera, but if I cut that fan off, there'll be gnats all in my eyeballs and I'll be done swole up like crazy. But anyways, if you're new, welcome to the live stream. This is typically what we do on Sunday. Sit around, chit chat, do a little cooking at the end, talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. That's what it's really about. So let's go ahead and get some bad news out of the way. It's actually great news, but it's bad news. We will not have a live stream next weekend because, well, the good news, it's Easter. We're going to celebrate that with family. The real reason for Easter, we're absolutely thankful and feel blessed, and we're going to spend the time celebrating that with family. We went and did, an early celebration for Easter today, and we're going to honor that holiday. So we will not have a live stream next week. Remind me to say that again in the middle and at the end. So people that kind of skip around and watch it, maybe they'll catch that. So we hope everybody that does celebrate Easter has a wonderful time with your family next weekend, and we'll catch y'all the following week. And if you're also new, ask a question. Go ahead. We may not grab it, but you're more than welcome to ask it many times. We'll do our best to catch it. We've got enough people coming on here now that it kind of bounces all around. Ooh, I am not on live chat. I'm on top chat. So I'm going to be missing some people. I hate that YouTube does that. Let's see here if we got any questions. Looks like everybody's chit-chatting for now, which is perfectly fine. What the heck happened?
A bug crawled out of it.
Oh, yeah. That's probably a dirt dog or spider.
Carry it inside.
Yeah, anything you leave outside here in Florida,
I was waiting for that. I saw the hole. I was like, oh.
They pack holes full of dirt, and it could be spiders that come out. It could be dirt daubers and everything else right there. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. First heart of the night, says Doug. Nope. I done seen about 50 of them things before the live stream even got started. I'm still trying to get used to that. What's flying across my screen here?
I do want to thank Miss Lee.
Yes, go ahead.
She sent me this awesome knife set. Thank you so much, Miss Lee. That was so very thoughtful. I'm sure to cut off some fingers with these.
Yeah.
Thank you. These are great. These look nice and sharp.
Yeah, I made the comment a while back that Tiffany always takes like my hunting and fishing knives and just cuts metal and glass and anything she feels like.
Really good care of these.
No, she won't. But thank you for sending those knives in, Miss Lee, so she doesn't damage my fishing knives. That'd be great. So thank you so much for
Very
that. We
much
truly
appreciated.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I hope you're. I think I've seen her on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she was on here earlier. I seen her
And
talking to
we
Mr. Doug.
also appreciate Crystal and her seeds. If y'all seen
Yes,
today's video, he planted some of them today. And thank you, Crystal.
yes, thank
That
you
was
so much
very
for
thoughtful
sending that
of
in.
you.
Yep, do appreciate you there. And let's see here. How many eggs are the hens laying? Asked Miss Pam. Been doing really well. I just got home, pulled 2 out of there. Well, I think I got 1 this morning, so there's 3 today. Hey, 3 for 3 hens. Ow, hey buddy. I don't know if y'all can see Ruger right here. Who
He should be wore
he
out.
should be wore out. He's chased puppies and kids and played all day long, and he looked so pitiful on the ride home, just fighting sleep. Now here he is, wound up. Y'all go out and eat your bones.
Yeah, go get your bone.
Go eat
Go
your
play
bones.
with Bullet. You missed your brother. Go.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, the chickens. Yes. Currently been averaging about 3 eggs a day, which is great for 3 hens. We've been slowly outpacing them, but we haven't had to buy eggs like this week. Probably be another week or 2 before we'll buy a dozen to kind of let them catch back up. Yes, I still want more eggs and hens and all that so bad. And eventually we're going to get there. Now we got to figure out how to incorporate new hens with hens that are already here. Some people say you can't do it. Some people have already given us tips and tricks on how you can. Sadly, none of our hens are broody, meaning they're not laying on and trying to hatch the eggs out. They drop them and they go. So I don't know if these hens would ever actually hatch any out for us. We'd have to literally take them out, put them in an incubator, and then by the time they hatched, well, they wouldn't know that those were their chicks. So we'll have to incorporate some hens a little bit later there. So Mr. Donald says, question about 10 times to see what he's got. Can you set up to have a live chat so that this family can have Easter together? Well, yeah, what I can do, which that may confuse some people, Mr. Donald, I'm gonna be cautious. Let me think about this. If I set up a live stream next week for y'all to chat, I can do that. But people are probably going to be like, where the heck are they? Why is the live stream not started? Probably going to get some dirty messages. I have to think about that. If I titled it correctly, I could do that. Set one up. Y'all can all, and obviously you're not going to see each other, but basically it's be a private chat
Yeah,
room for
because
y'all.
we don't really have signal where we're going to be at either.
No,
So,
he's talking about
yeah.
so they can all have their
I
little
know,
chat
but I
room
was
and
just
talk.
like, even if we popped on, but yeah.
Oh, well, we're, yeah, over mom's, yeah, there ain't no signal at all.
Yeah.
So, let me think about that one. If I titled it in a proper way, maybe gave a big description, possibly. I just don't want people mad at us going, why is this live stream not starting? He must be having some problems. Let's see here. I seen another question. Did I get my weather station yet? I'll be honest with you. I did order one this morning before we left. I finally got so sick and tired of, I've been back and forth all week long. I've narrowed it down to 2 models. And I got so tired of talking myself into one and talking myself into another. I just threw one in the cart real quick, hit send, and it's going to show up. But I did order an ambient weather station because that was by far the most recommended one. I'll show you the model that I get. I think it's going to be later this week before I get it in. I'll have to play around with it a little bit, but a lot of people have been genuinely curious about which one I'm going to get. But the ambient weather stations seem to be by far the most reviews, the best reviews. Not saying it's the best system out there. Obviously, there's many good ones, but it seemed to be extremely popular. So I'll show you all the one that I got once I get it set up and test it. So that probably will be another week or 2 before I get that video out. And I'm really looking forward to having one. I want to track like wind data and things like that. When Tiffany's telling me, it looked like there was a tornado outside, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and I pull it up and it shows 25-mile-an-hour winds. I'm like,
Well, other things would suggest differently.
yeah, speaking of, so first and foremost, let us not downplay some of
Yeah,
the storms. A lot of people went through some, I didn't even
Yeah.
know about an Arkansas tornado or something that just happened Friday. People were telling me about it, like devastated
Really.
portions up there. I think it was Arkansas,
This
y'all
time of
told me.
year is bad.
This is
Yeah.
horrible time of year. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those people. The last one I knew of was the Mississippi storms that rolled through about a week ago, and those gigantic tornadoes. I just don't follow the news, and I only catch up with weather whenever it pops up on YouTube, like Ryan Hall, Weatherman Plus, things like that. But our thoughts and prayers go out to those people. So I don't want to downplay in this weather stuff, but I'm really curious about tracking it. But speaking of the weather, we've had a couple storms roll through here recently with pretty good winds, and sadly, I'll show this on a video. I have lost some massive, and I mean massive trees. They've been blowing down this week. We were literally out here yesterday. It was so
Yeah.
windy. I was talking with a friend. It sounded like somebody shot a rifle right here beside us. We finally had to go out there and look, and you could hear this gigantic tree crashing. But I've got huge, y'all. I'm talking huge trees down right now. And then here's the bad part. One has completely fell in and crushed all my firewood totes. It's on my firewood rack. Luckily, it didn't smash it up, but I got to dig all this out. All my stacked firewood totes that I had in there seasoning next year's firewood, they're crushed. I mean, you can kind of see them in there. They're mangled. All my propane tanks that I had bought and paid for and was saving to build some fire pits and stuff, the trees down all on top of them. I don't know how many's damaged. So I've lost quite a bit of money right there, but those things can be replaced.
Oh, yeah.
But this is about to be a huge, huge amount of work. And this tree is so massive, like, my tractor's not set up to handle this kind of lumber at all. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. We're gonna have a video. Everybody want firewood videos? You're about to get all you want. But as hot as it's getting, I can only go out and work a few cool mornings and work on it.
But at least the positive note is it crashed down right by the fire rack. So
What's that?
one positive note is that it crashed down right there. So you don't really have to move it very far.
Yeah, I know. But now I've got more firewood. I know what to do with. And y'all, I'm talking. The tree is bigger round than that. I don't even know how much each firewood round that I cut up block is going to be hundreds of pounds. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get it over to the log splitter and start busting it up into several 100-pound sections. This is going to be really, really aggravating. And I'm worried to get in there and see how much stuff's damaged. It's going to take me a while to kind of cut all that out and get it figured out. But that was enough yakking, I guess, about weather there for quite a while. Cash says he's getting 38 to 56 eggs a day. At least that's what he can find. Cash, sounds like you have a chicken problem, buddy. You might ought to start eating some chickens, I'm thinking. Unless you're selling those eggs, then by all means, go for it.
Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah, he just sneezed all over you?
Yeah.
That was nice, Ruger. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Hammer says, we got to get a hold of him. I know. I can't get up there and fish right now, Hammer. I can't do it. I appreciate you inviting me.
Get over here and fish very much.
Man, I have missed a ton of comments. A lot of people just showed up all of a sudden. Holy smokes. All right, let's grab a few random ones. Let's see here. So Kevin, absolutely, you're more than welcome to ask this. He says, I'm not usually one to ask, but asking for prayers for his second cousin that lost his home and business yesterday.
Oh, wow. So sorry.
Absolutely. We're all about prayers and thoughts here, and whatever you may believe, and whatever you want to ask for, we'll give you without a doubt. Kevin's been an awesome viewer and part of this community and family. You know, we always call it community and family. So we're without a doubt love.
Big prayers for your cousin. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, we're more than happy to do that. And I know there's a bunch of other people more than happy to do that as well. So very sorry to hear that. There's been a lot of people. I don't know if it was storm related or what, none of our business, but there's just been a lot of people that's lost a lot over these last few weeks. No doubt about that.
I need to get a napkin. My eyes are just pouring water.
I'm sorry, I got to keep running that fan. There's gnats. Well, it could be your allergies. Of course, the pollen is finally laid down. You don't come out here to a green outdoor kitchen no more. Let's see here. I seen, not chickens, are the turkeys, I lost it. Are the turkeys gobbling? Somebody asked. I lost the comment. Who asked it? Bigway, Florida. I just found it. All right, scrolling down, reading your comments. You're gonna kill me. Yeah, the turkeys have been gobbling here for weeks and weeks and weeks. And actually, in this field behind me, I'll walk out, be heading to the shop in the morning, go to record some content and work, and they'll be out there strutting in front of the hens and all. I know I should probably get out there and hunt some, shouldn't I? I really enjoy watching them. I should. I enjoy watching them. This time of year, I'm more interested in fishing, which I hadn't been doing. I know. And I'm so focused on getting content out and work done that
I've been really busy.
I'll just watch them. They're pretty. I love it. And whenever I just finally decide I'm going to cook one, I'll go get one. Speaking of fishing, I hope I ain't lying to y'all. I'm going to try to go this week. That is on my mind. I'm setting some time aside this week to at least go on one fishing trip because it's supposed to be warm as can be. Of course, the sun, which has been going all day long, is going to come out now.
If you can't bring turkey home.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Oh, let's see here. So Julie says, make a private Facebook group. I have no idea how to do that. Talking about for next weekend for the live folks. I ain't got the slightest clue. I am not as tech savvy as y'all give me credit for. And especially with Facebook, I don't fool around with Facebook hardly at all. They've upset me a little. So Chad says he has that weather station that I ordered and loves it. Maybe the same model, maybe not. That's good to hear. I've heard really good things about them. What else we got going on? Yeah, everybody talking about that tornado and everything else. Other than, like I said, y'all, just Ryan Hall and a few other people, I don't really watch news much because typically it's always drama and politics and everything else that I about can't stand anymore. But it is good to watch it for the weather. My goodness,
They're riled up.
somebody is not tired. I ain't gonna be able to hear them dogs barking. I know everybody says they can't hear them, but I sure enough can. All right, I am so far behind. So Ashley says, Zoe says, hello, Andrew and Tiffany. Want to ask Tiffany what she did with her pictures she drew of you guys. yeah, we got to ask about that.
I took it down. I'm sorry. It's with all my other pictures for my nieces and everything.
Oh, we've got it saved. It's right.
Yes, thank you. I did appreciate it.
It's either in the drawer right there or right above the refrigerator where you got all your other stuff at. And let's see what else we got here.
Draw me a new one and I'll put a new one up.
Where are we? Oh, use the Fisker's axe. No, buddy. Wait till y'all see what all I've got to split. That isn't going to work at all. Okay, I got to scroll down. I am so far behind. I see people have made some donation stuff here that I need to go catch, and I'll run back up and catch some. So, David, thank you very much. Said tree busting dynamite fund. Boy, I could use it. Actually, I need an excavator, huge excavator fund, so I can reach in there and get this tree.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's massive. I really don't know how I'm gonna get in there to it. And I've got to pull all that mangled stuff out of the way, all the propane tanks and everything else. Like, this is going to be a job. It's going to be days for me to get this area cleaned up. And we're about to put that chipper back to use. That's for sure. But David, thank you so very much. Truly do appreciate you. And then, of course, right down from him, the most generous man on the planet, Mr. Doug, 20 more memberships.
Wow. So thank you, Mr. Doug. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much, Mr. Doug.
Will be members in
I'm telling you, everybody is. And for the people who don't know what memberships is, it's people like Mr. Doug and others that's joined that just give a small donation to the channel every month. And it means the world to us because it's truly what makes this stuff work. And a lot of times I'll post pictures and stuff behind the scenes stuff.
I don't even know. They're barking at nothing.
They're barking at thin air. Hush, hush. Y'all do this every live stream. We're going to put you inside. Well, not the brown dog, as somebody called him. That's Ruger. Let's see what else we got here. Let me scroll back up and catch a few more of these comments. So Randy says he has the ambient weather 2902. That's the one I ordered. I was back and forth between that and the 2000. And the only difference I could find was the 2000 takes one more sensor, can take a lightning sensor, and has a really, really nice color display instead of the LCD one like I got. But for a huge savings, I can get the 2902 and I can use their awesome app. I can buy a tablet for the savings and have a tablet somewhere. I can use my phone somewhere. I can literally have multiple displays for the same price as the next model up, and I still get the same outdoor sensor array and all as well. So that one seemed like the right choice, and it had tens of thousands of good reviews online. So I really am looking forward to it. They say the older you get, the more excited about weather you get, and the more you talk about it. That has been true for me. I do get excited about talking about weather. So Ben says the lighting looks pretty good this evening. That's because it's overcast and the sun is finally behind some clouds. It is so bright here. That's why it's washed out every week, because I'm competing with natural light and it just doesn't work. But right now with the sun behind the clouds and being overcast today, we can kind of compete with that a little. Speaking of, it's probably about time to turn this camera up. That might be a bit washed out. We'll just go with that right there. Now y'all can see us. So have I been able to fish lately? Asked Mr. Doug. No, have not went at all. But I'm going this week. I told her on the ride home, I said,
all right, shake on it.
I'm going fishing this week. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm going. It's supposed to be warm. I don't see no crazy weather. No excuses. I'm going fishing.
All right.
Doesn't mean I won't
deal with me and everybody else.
Let's shake on it, y'all. Doesn't mean I'm gonna catch nothing and get a video out on our other channel, but I'm gonna go and watch Ruger probably jump off the boat 15 times and ruin my fishing. That's what he's going to do. That dog's obsessed with water, y'all. We just took him out on the boat the other day, and like, I can't get to the boat ramp and get the boat to even touch the water without him just bloosh right out in the water.
Did I send you that video of that dog catching the fish? in the water?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you got to teach him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We watched a dog online putting bread out in the water,
He
letting the
has
fish.
his mouth in the water, and as soon as that fish comes up to the bread, he just
Yep, I've seen that
big
several
old brown.
times.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few dogs do that. I don't think Ruger's quite that intelligent. Love you, buddy, but we might could train
Yeah,
him
he
to be
doesn't
that.
have the patience for
He
that.
absolutely does not have the patience. He's got ADD if I've ever seen it. Yeah, so we are dragging a bit behind. What's for dinner, Tiffany?
All right, so we've done this before, but it's been a long time since we've done it. I'm gonna do smothered chicken breast with onions and mushrooms and cheese, and then we have some leftover okra out of the garden that we're gonna saute up. Even though we're not very hungry because we had such a big lunch, but
I'm really
like,
not
"Look, I'm
hungry at
hungry
all.
anyways."
We had steak
Yeah.
kebabs and grilled steaks for lunch and uh baked beans, like a barbecue baked bean.
Cowboy baked beans,
Yeah, cowboy baked
squash
beans.
and zucchini casserole.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, we ate good.
Yeah, we ate too good. I'm full. Oh, and I nibbled on some sausage too, some like really authentic sausage. Oh, I'm still pretty full. But we need to go ahead and cook, have us lunch and stuff for tomorrow. So Hammerman says he's dry docking and replacing the main engine in his boat. He says small boat. We've heard he's got like 200-foot boats.
Yeah.
He's a big commercial fisherman. It sounds like, buddy, I can only imagine what that's going to set you back. And I feel for you. I'm sure
Big
that's a
project.
gigantic diesel on one of those boats right there. It probably has multiple diesel engines. Ugh, life will sure throw you curveballs on it. So Julie says she had a big old tom turkey 3 foot from her porch a couple days ago. Wow, 3 foot. That one was asking to get 8, wasn't it?
Right. Goodness.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, man, goodness. Yeah, I keep seeing all
Sorry,
these.
I'm clearing my throat. My allergies are acting up.
All right. Yeah, so I'm having to scroll through about a million. Mr. Doug gifted a membership.
Yeah,
Thank you again, Mr. Doug.
that's
That's
so
just,
awesome.
yeah, that's,
Everybody's like, "Yay, a member!"
I guess I'm going to have to start doing some really, really behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
What else we got here? So, was it a reasonable price? Asked, who's that? Big Wave? I don't know what you're asking. Was what a reason? Oh, you talking about the weather station? That's the only thing I mentioned buying. Yeah, it was really reason. Well, okay, I have noticed you can spend $600 to $1,000 on a weather station, which wasn't going to happen. Or you can spend about the cheapest I found was $120. This one was $189 if I remember correctly, and for the company, the features, and the quality that appears to be there, don't know, I haven't tested it yet. I think that's very reasonable because the next model up was $300, and I just didn't really want to pull the trigger on that. And seeing that I could get the same sensors and array with a lesser quality screen, indoor screen, for like $110, $120 less, I went that route because I'm going to wind up using the app on my phone to pull up majority of this stuff anyways. Hopefully that's what you were asking about. Otherwise, well, there goes y'all, a bunch of information. Yeah, ask again, Big Wave. Hey, let's see here. Uh-oh.
What?
Sheila says, oh, she's not doing well at all, very sick, trying hard to be here, but have to go back to bed. And
Sorry,
it
Miss
sounds
Sheila,
like she's,
you're still having a hard time.
oh, she says prayer for my cancer battle. Absolutely. So
Yes,
y'all
send prayers, Miss
100%,
Sheila. Yes,
100% keep her in mind.
we know that you've been battling with that for a while
Yeah.
now. So sorry.
So please, y'all, prayers absolutely do work in our opinions.
Absolutely.
100%. You know, I had a very close family member. Heck, I can talk about my mom went through cancer quite a few years ago. I try not to put too much of her business out there, and very bad prognosis from the get-go. And we can say she's been several years in remission now. So we do believe in prayers and they can be answered. And we absolutely pray that your situation turns out exactly the same that it did for my mother, without a doubt. So anybody that sees that and hears that, please keep Miss Sheila in your prayers right there. Let's see here. So Jason asked, will the inverter that I just put up out there, the solar inverter, do 120 volt? Is there an option for 240? So you're talking about the on the wall one, that is 120 only as is, but you add a second inverter, communicate them together. There's a communication cable that ties the two, program each to talk to each other, and then you have 240. Then you can add even a third one and do let's see, 3 phase, excuse me. So what's that, 208 volt, 3-phase, I think is what they call it. I've never got into 3-phase. So you can do single, split, or 3-phase. Absolutely. Not on each inverter. You just have to add a second one and make them communicate, which I do plan on doing that here in the future. I'm going to run this inverter for a little while, and if I like it, I'm going to invest, well, heck, our own money into a second inverter and possibly thinking 3 more batteries. 2 inverters, 3 more batteries. That'd put me at 20 kW. I need more solar panels, which I'm working on right now. We're going to get a video out for that soon. I think that will put the shop completely off grid and give us a substantial system that we can tie into the house. So should we have a major outage, well, I flip a breaker over there and we can run everything we need. If we're going to run the house and shop, obviously we can't run it around the clock. We're going to have to be very careful what we run. We can run freezers, refrigerators, things like that, but we're not going to be over here throwing a party, running a pool pump, and
what?
No, we're not running the AC and just having a good old time. We can't do that. We'd have to have an even bigger system. But I think we've already invested pretty heavily ourselves, and thankful companies have sponsored some of this. I think for not much more investment, we can get it to where one or the other's off grid, and we can tie them together to where, like I said, we can really get through any of these major power outages, storms, everything else. World's getting crazier, y'all, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I always say we don't fear monger, and we're not going to sit there and just beat all that stuff with a dead horse. But between the weather and politics and everything else, like, I have no problems. I feel very comfortable with us kind of being a little more prepared, whether it be food and power and whatever the heck it may be. Not telling people to go out there and panic, but everybody should be prepared for something. I mean, look at all these storms and things that are rolling through right now through these towns. Those people aren't going to have power back for quite a while. You don't just clean all that up overnight. So we're getting there. That was another round the world way of answering one question. I'm very bad about doing that. Oh, let's see what. Everybody's talking about Cash's request. Did I miss it? Oh my goodness, the bear rug. Yes, I'm way behind on comments too, as y'all can see. The heck with that deck. You know what? Send me the bear rug. Goodness gracious. Uh-oh. So,
So,
Zoe's face lit up.
oh
You told her to
yeah.
draw a new picture. All right, we'll be looking for that at the post office.
So pile driver called you out. He said, "Have you mowed lately?"
Hush your mouth. I haven't mowed. Actually, I did
That probably
run.
wasn't his comment like that, but I'm taking it like that.
Oh, I hadn't read it.
Yeah.
No, actually, I've ran the mower already this year, and all the rotten tires it's sitting on, I've got to go replace all 4 tires. That's fun. I got to figure that out. But no, I'm not mowed yet. But looking at the yard, it is time. Ruger, see
I think he's out of the camera.
all right.
He's having fun with his girlfriend.
Ruger's having fun. Thank goodness it's barely off camera. Huh. These dogs, man, I don't ever know what's going on behind me. What else we got going on here? Alan said he's having hip replacement surgery on Thursday. Ooh, buddy.
Well, good luck with it. That's a pretty good one to recover from. It's pretty easy. So
Okay, well,
about
so you know all about that.
hip
She
is-
does physical therapy for a
Usually
living.
hip is pretty good. So
Okay,
hopefully you
I
should
couldn't remember if
recover
that was the
well.
bad one. I was nervous.
No, the knee replacement is
It's the
better.
knee.
Yeah,
Okay.
hips are a lot easier than they used to be. So
All right.
you should recover pretty well from that.
Right. So Cash says he needs power out to his deer stand. Cash, you may be in luck because I have been seriously considering putting some power out there. So you may be in luck. We might as well go ahead and stick you a window unit out there too. Maybe a mini fridge. What else you need out there,
River
Cash?
needs power first.
Yeah, well.
So he can have a fan and a bug zapper.
She ain't kidding either, y'all. She wants me to run power out to the kennel.
Or solar.
Yeah, I know. Well, with that solar, she wants power out of the kennel so we can put a fan and a bug zapper in. And I laugh about it, but it'll probably wind up happening. Watch. It's probably gonna wind up happening. We're gonna pamper the heck out of the dog. We said Ruger's gonna be an outside dog, and we're gonna wind up building him an inside place out there before this is all said and done.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, chilled and filtered water out there and whatever else he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see, what is it? So Doug asked what I think it would take power-wise to get me totally off grid. That's a loaded question, Mr. Doug, and probably something we're going to discuss in an upcoming video because everybody's thoughts and understanding of what it takes to go off grid is completely different. To some people, that's I need enough to get me through one day. And as long as, sun comes back tomorrow and charges my system up, I call that off grid. Some people say you need enough batteries, for example, to get you through 5 days of inclement weather, which is a huge system and a major significant increase in cost. It would realistically, to get the shop and the house off, probably take about 30 kW worth of batteries, 5,000 watts worth of solar panels, and that would only get me probably a little over a day of bad weather, which fortunately here in Florida, well, we don't really have many overcast days like today. We get a lot of sunshine. See, that wouldn't work at all for some people up north that may have a few weeks of overcast. So that's a loaded question. It's hard to say. I'm going to try to figure out how to answer that in a video. That's something we need to have a discussion, because I don't want people to get the misconception they can go out and spend a couple $1,000s on solar stuff and they're good to go. It's just not the way it works. And people really need to pay attention to their electric bills too. I've been watching mine heavily. I know the house averages about 18 kilowatts a day, which is low for most people's standards. Shop's been around 10, so I can easily take it off. I've got it almost completely off grid now, but I need another battery and really need to go to 240. And then it's just a combination of the two. And then you kind of times that by how many days of, well, solar you think you're not going to have and better charge your batteries. And then do you want to stay grid tied? Do you not want to be grid tied and be truly off grid? There's a lot. I'm still figuring a lot of it out. You need to talk to me. I can tell you're getting a little more interested in it too. Email me, talk to me about what it is you're trying to take off. I don't know if you're trying to do like a house, a shop, just some sort of outdoor structure. And I'll pass along what little bit I've been learning, but we're going to share it all on some videos anyways. What else we got here? There was one more. So Randy says he also has that 2902 weather station for 3 years, no problems. Yes.
No, good. You
Miss
picked the right one.
Miss Barbara's laughing that you said, what? No pool pump?
I know.
So that's going to be a problem. Pool pumps here in Florida, we're probably going to have to realistically run a pool pump 8 to 9 hours a day, and they pull a heck of a lot of power. They really do. And because we have such high temperatures here, we're going to have to filter our water like crazy. All the pollen, all the algae growth and stuff that wants to happen in these temperatures, I'd imagine heat of summer, 8 to 9 hours a day, and I'm expecting our electric bill to go up. So I would have to add a significant amount of solar just for the pool pump that we're going to add.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep telling everybody, really, we're doing solar for backup and for the educational side of it for YouTube. But what we're probably going to do is always have one meter here and then take one structure off grid. And it's starting to look more like it's going to be the shop that's going to go off grid. And then I'll have a big heavy wire under the house where I can flip one breaker. And an extended outage, well, we can kind of run the house off solar too, that's out there in the shop. I think that's going to be the smarter thing to do. And fortunately for us, our power is quite affordable here. It doesn't realistically make sense to go completely off grid for the savings side of it. It hardly ever pays you back. Where it does make sense is, well, just being a little more prepared if you kind of want that backup source. And then again, like I said, it's my job to make content and something that people want to watch, or I don't get paid. So, well, that's why we're diving into solar. And I love this stuff too. I do.
Speaking of pool pump, we think.
Yes, we need to go ahead and make an announcement there. I was going to talk to Pile
go
Driver.
ahead. Yeah.
I was going to thank Pile Driver
Yes.
because I'm like 15 minutes behind on thanking people. Thank you very much, Pile
Yes,
Driver,
thank
for your
you.
donation.
I'm
He's probably like,
getting
what the
some
heck? Did they not see
allergy
it? He said, Tiffany's Allergy Fund. Feel you,
Yes,
girl. Oh, my
thank
goodness.
you, yeah.
Isn't that the truth? So thank you very much.
It
Truly.
snuck up on me this afternoon. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was being at my brother's, if they stirred up all that dust.
Well, they got a lot, yeah, and they got a lot of oak leaves over there.
Yeah, they were out there riding 3-wheelers, stirring up dust and everything.
3-wheelers, y'all. Boy, I haven't seen those since I was a kid. They had 2 3-wheelers tearing it
On the
up.
way home, I was like, oh, starting to feel.
Yeah, those oak leaves are horrible. So I'm way behind. We're gonna catch some more of these comments, but we might as well talk. Y'all have been asking and asking and asking. Let's go ahead and get this out on the table. Why have we not been doing the pool? What's going on with all that? We told y'all we had a secret. Well, it kind of, I'd say it fell through. So we'll just go ahead and talk about it, but it didn't really fall through. We're not going to get into the details of it because eventually it's going to happen down the road. But the reason we put off some major projects like the pool, the deck, I know I keep itching my nose. I got one of them hairs. I can't help it. Is because we had a production company contact us a while back that does like house tours and interviews with people. And they're quite large as far as in the social media world. So it's a really good thing for the channel. Really, really is. We couldn't make it happen a while back. Now they have a photographer for the Southeast that decided to take about a month and a half off and go sailing. Well, he's been doing that, so we've been waiting on him to get back. Finally got in contact with the company again the other day. Well, the photographer's sailboat is broke down. He's broken down somewhere on the, not on the ocean, but he is, I think he's in the Keys, if I remember correctly, doing repairs to his sailboat. And they could not get their other photographer on the other side of the country to get out here anytime soon because they're filming over there. So long story short, we did not want the yard tore up. We didn't want to pull out there with no deck and all while recording was going on because it was just going to look horrible, right? But now that we don't really have a time frame when this photographer is going to get the boat done and get everything back and get back to filming, and I'm sure there's other houses waiting as well, we're just going to go ahead. So now we're back talking with a friend with an excavator and a few other people that's put up pools just like ours, and we're trying to work that out. We almost had it set up for this weekend, but it fell through because somebody couldn't make it that has the knowledge. So here over the next few weeks, we're putting the pool up, and then we're going to dive into figuring out what the heck we're doing for a deck. We're going to price out concrete. We're going to price out concrete. I'm scared to death it's going to be outrageous, and I may wind up going back to building a deck. So I said all that to let y'all know what was going on. It's really good news. We weren't hiding it from everybody. It's still supposedly going to happen, but I think it's going to be a little ways down the road. And we're not going to mention the company or anything else like that because they may not want us to. We haven't even got to a paperwork side of things, if there is even for this. But we're excited about that. And it was going to be a really good thing for the channel. That's why we decided to move some projects around. So now we're going to move forward with the pool. It is what it is. And if that doesn't
either way,
and if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I think it would have really helped grow the channel quickly and bring some new viewers and new audience, something we desperately needed. And
while the house still looks fresh.
Yeah, no kidding. Although the porch no longer looks fresh thanks to a couple of dogs that's tore it all the heck up. So somebody asked, am I still having problems with armadillos? Yeah. Yep, they're not horrible, but we're starting to get new, fresh sign all around the property and all these pine trees out here. Well, every time we go out, there's a new hole. They're digging up the roots of the pine tree, and I do not know why. I've got flags and all back out there. Probably got another 6 to 8 new holes I have to go cover up. So it's a work in progress. It's something we're going to have to deal with forever. Let's see what else we got going on here. I am so far behind. So sorry, y'all. Sorry. What else we got here? I'm reading through. Bear with me. Oh my goodness. So Cash, they're saying,
oh yeah, they're
the
filling
jacuzzi, the little cabin with a full fridge. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. All that's really gonna happen. Might as well put him a blackstone out there. You want a deck too while you're at it? Zip line, case
balcony.
We'll put him a zip line in case Chris comes over and visits his brother. Let's see what else we got going on here. So did I just see it went away? Took it away. Did I just see that pile driver?
Well, so look up there, the red one. Click on that.
Nope, here, no. Yes. Okay, Mr. Gray. Yeah. I see they're disappearing. I don't like that.
Well, when they've been on there for 15
I can't help it. I'd like to talk. I can't help it.
They disappear.
I'm so sorry. Luckily, they're still on the comments. I just have to scroll down. So, Mr. Gray, thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Mr. Gray. So extremely generous. Always so kind and so generous. Has been forever.
He's going to get us that Benson fund.
No, this time it's plumbing for the deer stand.
Well.
Well, Cash, there you go, buddy. Now you're going to get plumbing in the deer stand. He says, nah, I'll stick with the fence fund for now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Gray.
We desperately need fence.
Oh, my goodness, do we? And we need some more animals. Oh, I cannot wait to get
animals. But we're going to have to pull swimming pool off while we're putting up that fence eventually.
Oh, you're going to put fence? You're going to help me?
I mean.
Or are you just going to swim in the pool and tell me, work harder? Yeah, that's what I figure is going to happen. So, pile driver, thank you again for nose trimmer fun.
Yes, he desperately needs a pair of those.
So, again, I said, as you get older, you tend to talk about and like the weather more, and you also tend to grow hair in places you don't want to grow hair.
I'm gonna get him some of those little wax sticks that you stick in the nose.
No, ma'am, you ain't.
Come out.
No, ma'am, you ain't. That's not happening at all.
Nose hair is there for a reason, so we can't be taking it out, but we can trim it up a little bit.
Yes, I know. I grow it. I can cut it, and it's like the grass. It's growing again tomorrow. The older I get, it's coming out my ears and my nose. I can't help it. Oh, I can't help it. So I'm sure some people are laughing, and they know just like they're dealing with it just like me. So someone I think asked, does a solar day allow or overcast day allow the solar panels to output a little? Yes, it does. If it's heavily overcast, it's pretty limited, but I always see some sort of input during the middle of the day with some sun, moderate overcast. I still pull 300-400 watts on that 1200 watt array, which is amazing. And we're about to double that thing up. So that video will be out here before long. So let's see here. Andrew, I plan to have a 200 to 300 farm tank with PTO generator as the backup plan. I have considered PTO generators for my tractor. My buddy has one that'll run his whole house and then some. It's like 24 kW. The only issue I have with that is these tractors are so stinking expensive nowadays. It makes me cringe thinking about idling a tractor, or heck, you kind of got to rev it up to the proper PTO speed for days and days and days. I know diesels are made to run, but that's just the OCD in me. That seems crazy to do, if you know what I mean. But man, there's no more affordable way to get a gigantic generator than one that'll run off a tractor, without a doubt. So Mr. Doug says pool pump 240 volts. Well, we went with the 120 because we're doing above ground pool, and the 120 worked. But I think I got a 1.5 horsepower. It's a huge pump. I have to run 10 gauge wire out there. He said in full sun at least 8 hours a day. Spend extra and do salt chlorinated. Well, I think you're going to like what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something I don't see hardly anybody talking about or doing. We have a couple people we know that's been doing it for years. Their pool is always perfect. I mean, perfect. Hardly no chemicals, no shocking, no nothing. But it's ionization. We're actually going to run a copper ionizer, and I don't see nobody talking about this, and they work. They literally ionize the water, and occasionally you might run a chlorine tablet or bromine tablet around in the pool, especially if you get like water bugs or something in there. But I'm a believer because our friend has had one for years, and every time we go over to swim in her pool, it is perfect, and there's no chemicals in it. There's no chlorine spill, nothing crazy, and all it is an energized copper ionizer. I'll have to explain how all that works because we used to do some ionization of water out at the mill I used to work at. We won't get in that on this, but I think people are going to be very interested in that. And it'll save you huge on chemicals because, well, you don't really use any chemicals. Maybe some of y'all have that and will pipe up and say, yeah. What else do we have here? There was one more. Oh, Ben says, yeah, if you're going to break down the keys, you might as well break down there, right?
I know. Yeah, that's what I was
go work on his
thinking.
boat a little, go hang out. So I don't know where
a plan.
it might have been his plan. Oh, I broke down the keys for a couple months. I don't know where that guy was planning on selling to, but he's obviously got the type of life that he can do some freelance photography or work for a company, do some other stuff, and then go selling for a little while. So it sounds like he's living the sweet life to me. Let's see here. So yeah, see people still talking about all the tornado damage and prayers going out. By all means, please keep people in your prayers.
So scary.
So Jill is exactly right. As soon as we break ground on the pool, they'll call to show up. That's exactly the way it'll work.
It is what it is.
That's life, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. We can go out there and put a bunch of fake shrubs up real quick. I guess we just have to tell the cameraman, be real careful when you come around here. Just always have your back to the pool. If he's a good cameraman, he should be able to pull it off. Oh, goodness. So Mr. Jimmy says, silver play button coming soon. Well, you mean Manny Petty? Yeah, we'll see if we can get that on the way here pretty quick. All right, I got to scroll down, y'all. I'm so far behind. So someone said we need to host an armadillo hunt with our friends instead of the dove hunt.
Right.
I guarantee you
They would love it.
They would love it. We'd have some people show up absolutely loving that. But we just don't need people just shooting everywhere across property either. That'd be kind of crazy. So have we ever thought about having goats? We have, and we do plan on having some goats in the future. We're going to start with fencing this pasture, which we planted for cows. Get us a few cows out there because we want to be able to raise our own beef and have a little bit of side income. We can't put many out there to bring much in. Then eventually we'll do a small fenced area for goats. We want more chickens, obviously, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there as far as farm type animals go, things that we may raise for selling or eating. But goats has absolutely been on our mind. Cash says he hates hair and he's only 30. Cash, I hate hair too. Honestly, if I went bald right now, I'd be happy. This is long for me. I hate cutting hair. I hate it. So very generous, Mr. Doug. Again, 20 Kelleys Country
Oh,
Life
that's
memberships.
awesome.
Well, I guess I got to get with making some membership posts now because we keep getting all these new members. So for everybody that just got gifted a membership and don't know what the heck's going on, that's Mr. Doug. Now you'll just get some behind the scenes stuff that I post periodically
Sharing
throughout
the
the week.
love.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Doug. You're too kind, far too kind. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Sharon says I can take care of those unwanted hairs at the salon when I get that mani-pedi. Well, we've kind of slowed down right now. That's the way it happens in social media. It looked like we were flying toward that 100K and have to get that mani-pedi. Now it's just kind of stopped again. Eventually, we'll have another video takeoff and we'll do that. Now, if y'all, want to go share with your friends, maybe make a few more people join, just saying, that will get us there closer and get you that video quicker. And we sure would appreciate it. Oh, goodness gracious. And Cash, I didn't realize, I think maybe I did know. I didn't know we were the same exact age. How about that? We're both knocking on 40, buddy. Knocking on 40. I know some people's gonna be like, 40, that's young. It don't feel like it anymore. PJ's got to jump off. Thanks for chatting with us.
All right, I'm getting ready to cook.
All right, okay, y'all. I'm going to attempt to move the camera. Every time I do this, sometimes I unplug the camera. Ooh, so Tiffany can cook. Y'all bear with me. I hope I don't lose y'all.
All right, we are doing.
Hang
I
on,
keep
they
wanting to
can't
say,
see it.
I'm just talking for a second while you're moving the camera. We are doing smothered chicken breast and okra from the garden, sauteed okra.
Might be a little too bright. All right, I think I was managed to move the camera without unplugging it. Yay. All right, it's still on. Awesome. So let's see what else we got going on here. Answer a few more of these questions.
Here's our chicken breast.
Maybe y'all can see that.
Nothing too fancy tonight, though.
That's all right. We're not a cooking channel. Although Tiffany could definitely run one. Yes, life is busy. So Adam says, I got to ask, do we run into many snakes here? Every year, yes, we run into some. If you go down in the woods where all the water is, that's where you'll see like the venomous snakes, like moccasins. We don't hardly ever see any rattlesnakes here. Thank goodness. They're not as common as they were when I was a kid. What we typically see in the yard is black racers. I see those all the time throughout the year. And rat snakes, oak snakes, whatever you want to call them. That's the long ones that kind of almost looks like a rattlesnake, but they have a thin little head. They've got kind of a cool brownish pattern. And I leave those alone, honestly. Black racers tend to come around the house and they'll scare you. They may be behind the trash can and they'll just zoom off. The oak snakes and rat snakes, they're slow as can be, crawl across the yard from one tree to the next. But I don't mess with those at all. I know most people say a dead snake or a good snake is a dead snake. But those that I know are going to catch mice and things like that, I'll leave alone. Now, anything venomous, rattlesnake, or I just got some of that in my eye. I don't know how.
It's pretty smoky.
Rattlesnake or moccasin, it's got to go, especially with these dogs running around here now. We do not tolerate venomous snakes in the yard. That burnt me.
Did it? Sorry.
Yeah. I got a piece of pepper or something in my eye. I don't know how it blew all the way over here from over there. Goodness gracious. All right, what else we got going on? So what breed of goats do we want? No idea, to be perfectly honest with you. Haven't really researched it that far. Couldn't tell you. Whoa. Bullet bit the fire out of Ruger. That sounded like, hey, yo.
Making sure it wasn't a snake since we were talking about
No
snakes.
kidding. Isn't that the truth?
Golly.
Hey, what else we got going on here? Yes, so Doug brings up a good point. Rat snakes there, and he got one in his pool pump house to take care of. And I have a feeling when we get a pool, I constantly hear of everybody getting snakes in their skimmer. So I'm probably eventually going to have a few fall in the pool during the night. And I know that we're probably going to wind up collecting quite a few snakes whenever we get a pool. It's just the way it is. Sharon said that'd be a good way to keep her out of the pump house with a snake. What else we got going on? Mr. Gray says he just turned 28 for the second time. Huh? So either you lying or you saying I should double that 28 number. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, 14th for the fourth time, according to my wife. All right, I see where you're heading with this one now. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Gray.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah. All right, let me grab a few more random comments here. Scroll up and down. Thank you very much, Crystal, for telling everybody hit that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. We truly do appreciate it. Crystal is definitely our #1 cheerleader, without a doubt. We always appreciate you. Oh, young whippersnapper, says Mr. Gray. Hey, you remember when you lost your 30s and went into 40s too, huh? It didn't feel so good, did it? Oh, goodness gracious, time flies. It seemed like I was just 25. What the heck happens? Man, oh man, oh man. Oh well, happy to wake up each day, that's for sure. All right, y'all. Ask some questions.
They're mesmerized by the food.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So Adam says, my wife and I are looking pretty hard for land in Florida. She's really hating the idea of venomous snakes. Well, Adam, y'all may not want to come to Florida.
They're not that bad here.
They're really not, but I'm just saying, if you just hate the idea of snakes, period, well, we got them here, especially out here where we live. You drive up and down these roads where there's just water in the ditches and swamp everywhere. Oh my goodness, there's dead snakes on the road every day. Now, that doesn't mean you walk out the house every day and they're in the yard and you kick them around. We literally might see 5 or 10 snakes a summer. It's just not bad.
I'm really surprised we don't even see more out in the woods with all that
Well,
water out there.
They're there. We're
I
just not
know.
seeing them.
I'm always looking when we're driving. I don't ever see them.
Yeah. So, Mr. Doug, thank you very much. He says general fun. That sounds like a great fun. I think you said pool table right there. So I like your thinking.
Yes, thank you.
Sure do appreciate you, Mr. Doug. Thank you very much. What else we got going? Yes, I know, Chris. I knew this was coming. I was going to see if we could skate by podcast, he says.
I know.
We have got to make one. So, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. As busy as this week's been, we were gone Friday, although it was a little bit of a fun day. We've been gone all day today. We haven't had time to really sit down and record, or to, record a podcast. And I've got a subject I really want to talk about. So I've got a subject in mind. We're going to try to sit down, but we've got Easter next weekend, family time. I'll see if we can get one recorded, because there is a topic that, kind of near and dear to my heart.
Maybe the Sunday before we leave, we can sit down and film one first.
Yeah, we can do that before we run over the moms.
Posted for Monday, maybe.
Yeah, I can get that edited.
Possibly.
So maybe before we run over the moms, we can do that. That is something we'll look into. So if I post one, Chris, you better be the #1 first commenter over there.
First one to comment.
I do want to get another one out, because there's definitely some stuff. The podcast to me is an opportunity to kind of vent and talk about the more serious things to life that I would like to include on this channel, but I want this channel to be a little more upbeat and educational and DIY, fun. Not saying our podcasts are somber or anything. I think there's some really good points and topics we talk about, but I think we need to save it for the podcast channel. So we'll do that. So Marcus says I need to talk with Daniel about goat breeds. I will. Me and Daniel just chatted last week, and I will keep him in mind for sure whenever it's time for goats. I wish he lived a little closer, because I'd run and go buy some goats from him when it's time, but holy smokes, Oklahoma's a heck of a drive.
Yes.
And I'd have to cross so many state lines with animals. Ooh, I can only imagine how crazy that is.
Sound like too much fun.
It's not fun at all, because you don't come into Florida with animals and livestock without tons of paperwork and vaccines and just craziness. Crossing state lines with animals here is crazy. I wish he lived closer. I would for sure go get them. So, what else we got here? Sorry, y'all, I'm picking some random comments.
My blackstone a little too hot here.
Is that what's burning me? I don't know what you put on there. Maybe.
No, it's the seasonings that
the seasoning's choking me and burning my eyes.
Has, red pepper flakes.
I say it almost is like cayenne pepper. I'm choking over here.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Mr. Doug. No, sir. Come on now.
What?
You didn't have to do that, Mr. Doug. My goodness gracious. Thank you very much for an extremely generous donation there. It says general fund. Golly, that is burning my eyes, Tiffany. What's going on?
I don't know.
Mr. Doug, thank you, sir. All right, let me turn that camera up. Y'all can't see me.
You made Andrew cry, Mr. Doug.
Yeah, you are making me cry. I don't know what's going on, but that's blowing all up in my face. And
It's the smoke too from the
burning the
blackstone.
heck out of my eyes. It's like I'm being pepper sprayed.
Yeah. Well, I did put a lot of pepper on the okra too.
Ooh,
Maybe some of that flared up.
goodness gracious. I got to get over here out of this fan. That is burning the heck out of me. So Mark brings up a very valid point. He said we're young enough to still do stuff, but old enough to know better. Isn't that the truth? Sure, for sure, wisdom comes with getting older. Not saying we're extremely wise, but I don't make as many dumb mistakes and choices as I once did. That's for sure. And yeah, everybody's feeling it right now. So when we were young, we wanted to become adults, but when we became adults, we wanted to be young again. Isn't that the truth? Although I don't ever desire to be, crazy young, even teens again. I wouldn't go back for nothing. I'd much rather have a little bit straighter head on my shoulders and be an adult, but wouldn't mind going back into 30, early 30s. That was right before things started clicking and popping and not feeling quite so good. Now I laugh. I get out of bed every morning and I got a little, almost like a bath mat on the side of the bed. And the first thing I do is I just rock back and forth and just hear everything pop, 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 pop. My joints, everything else before I even go walking out of the room because it's so loud when I'm walking out of the room and I'm popping. So
Everybody's probably like, Jess, you have no idea.
I know I don't have no idea.
I know. I came out of the room the other day. I was like, oh my God. Andrew's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, my joints hurt.
Oh, that was the day after we did all the chipping.
Yeah, after we did all the chipping and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it wore her out.
You saw that physical activity here lately.
Yeah, well, let's get you home and get you doing more of that with me. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so Stefan, I believe. Yeah, Stefan says, I know I've asked a few times on a few different videos, but missed the answer. What kind of lumber did I use for the raised beds? So I used your regular treated lumber. I know there's a lot of controversy around it, but I researched the heck out of it. Your typical 2x lumber that you go get from the big box store right now, that's not your old dip ground contact arsenic cured stuff anymore. Typically you only find that in 6x6 or 8x8 posts, and you've got to get that especially from a mill like I did. All this new stuff salt cured. That's why the bugs eat it, and that's why it rots so quickly. But this being wet, subtropical Florida, that being in contact with soil and constantly getting rained on, we just don't really have cedar and other stuff available here. So I did a salt cured treated pine. And if you'll read the reports on like leaching of chemicals and things like that in the soil, you'd be mighty shocked that things don't quite leach like people think. And I'd much rather build my raised beds like that, know what compost is going in, what I'm doing to my food, than buying a lot of the stuff from the store that has been sprayed with Roundup and everything else under the sun. So, yep, that's what I had to use because I wish we had cedar and stuff available here, but I just don't see it anywhere, especially in big 2x lumber. I guess it would just be ridiculously expensive to ship it all the way down here to Florida. That's what I'd like to have. So Lauren says, wait a minute, you have a podcast channel. Yes, we do. Where you been? So
just a few videos.
Just a few videos right now. It's kind of us talking about the more serious side of marriage and life and things like that. If people want to hear that and maybe want to relate and chime in, by all means. But if you look down in the description of this podcast or any video, there's a link to I said this podcast, this live stream or any video. There's a link to our podcast, but it's the Kelleys off script. But just click on the link down there and go check it out if you're interested in listening to us ramble on and on about life's experiences and things that's happened and stuff like that. I think there's some good notes and takeaways from it. It's just kind of us sitting around and venting a little, reminiscing and talking about things that, experiences, things to share. What else we got here? There's one more I seen. Okay, so Julie asked, is Tiffany still like her pantry shelves?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Remember everybody said we were going to hate them and they were going to fall out the wall.
They are just fine for me. Yes, they are good.
Yeah, no issues with them, no sagging, no problems. Nothing's pulled out of the wall, and it's not going to because I hit a stud with every single screw, making sure I set that up. And those little pantry shelf liners, that's the key. Wire shelving's horrible without those, but as soon as you put the little liners in there, we don't have nothing falling over. Obviously, there's no gaps to fall through. Cans don't fall over. The liners is what makes that stuff really work. Would some custom built wood shelves look better? Yeah, it would, but
Yeah, well, for a budget, and you know, we want to show budget friendly stuff too to people. I mean,
and I want to get that house done.
yeah. I mean, we were on a pretty tight budget there at the end.
Yeah, oh heck yeah, we were. We blew past our budget, and then we're scrambling to try to save up some more money.
But I'm happy. I'm really happy with it though.
Yeah, I'm still satisfied with it too. So Kevin says, last week just ordered something you might find interesting. A freeze dryer. It should be here the first week of June. Kevin, I'm curious about that. I have people ask me all the time about freeze dryers. I'm all about anything that's going to help us preserve food. And I kind of like the thought of a freeze dryer and how it does preserve. I haven't looked into them very much. The one time I did, they were unbelievably expensive. So I'd be curious to know about the model you have, especially after you try it. And I'll look into it. I absolutely will. It'll be good content for the channel, but it's got to be not a few $1,000s like the one I seen one time when I got to looking at them. Woo, I'll probably have to stick to vacuum sealing and canning, if you know what I mean. But I do like the idea of one, so I would be very curious to hear your thoughts on it. So Adam, yes, we talked about it earlier, but we'll talk about it again. I know we've had quite a few people jump on. You mentioning the weather stations. Have I put any more thought into a brand? Yes, this morning I went ahead and ordered an ambient weather station. That was the most popular, highly recommended weather station. I should get it in late into the week. Then I have to install it, test it. So maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll have a video out there and see if it's worth having or not. I was all over the place. I looked at about 10 or 12 different models from $100-something to somewhere $600+ and I kind of settled on the lower end, but that literally had like 10,000 positive reviews. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it works out. I think I'll be happy with what I bought. So we'll get that video out for people that's interested. So is she cooking with pepper spray? Somebody wanted to know. It sure enough felt like it. Right. And I've been pepper sprayed before, and that's kind of how that was starting to feel. It was choking me and burning my eyes. So Mr. Mike says, eye drop fund for Andrew. Is that a joke, Mr. Mike? But thank you very much for your donation there. Yes, thank you. Even for eye drops from me whining and being sensitive over here, huh? And as y'all can see, yes, I'm that far behind on your comments. So Mr. Doug, my goodness, gifted 20 more memberships.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Doug.
That is
wow.
absolutely crazy.
Everybody will be members here.
I'm telling you, it's starting to look like that, isn't it? Good. Well, he's got a long ways to go. There's about 180, 200 people on here a minute ago, I think, last time I looked. So, Mr. Doug, thank you so very much for being so extremely generous. Mr. Doug, by the way, get your butt down here. I want to take you fishing. Tiffany wants to cook for you.
Yes,
I'll cook for you too.
Absolutely.
Y'all talk Mr. Doug into coming down. I've been trying to get him down taking fishing for a long time. Oh, let's see what else we got here. So, yeah, I see quite a few more people talking about planting. I know some of y'all are still dealing with cold weather and all, but I see some of y'all already talking about planting vegetables since I did the garden video today. Hey, we're blessed with warm weather here in Florida, but we're also cursed with hot weather here in Florida. So we can plant before you, but we also start getting crazy storms this time of year. It starts getting like literally almost 90 degrees. I'm seeing next week. It's warming up way too early. I'm quite worried about that, actually. I hope we don't have a heck of a hurricane season. We'll catch a few more comments here. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so far behind. So A Outdoors asked, when I made my raised beds, did I put any barrier under them? I did not, but I did till the grass in heavy, and I figured I was going to be okay because I originally put in about 9 inches of compost. So that was more than enough to smother out and kill any of the grass underneath. And I've not really had any issues since. The grass that I am seeing is just grass seed that makes it into the garden, birds, mowing, things like that, weed seed, stuff like that. But the 9 inches of compost smothered it out. If I were going to do like a 2x4 garden bed or something doesn't have much compost to smother out the grass, yeah, I would highly recommend putting down like some weed cloth or something. And I really still should have done that anyways. Holy smokes, that looks pretty good.
Yes, it is done. You know what? Well, yeah, I'll pull it off.
Yeah, put it in the pan.
Yeah.
I know that won't make it look as pretty, but I don't know how else we'll get it to them and not drop it everywhere without putting it in the pan. Oh, that looks good. I might have to actually eat a little tonight. Let's catch a couple more comments here before we wrap this thing up. I'm still coughing from this stuff. I know. Cry me a river, right? Yep, everybody talking about the weather stations. I'm going to get y'all video out just as good or quick as I can. So Mr. Jimmy says, I need to get Mr. Doug on a podcast. I agree. I don't know if Mr. Doug wants to be on a podcast, but I'd like to get him on.
Look at this cheese.
That does. I know, Chris, I hope you've seen this. There's cheese just melting everywhere, buddy. I think I got the camera turned down too low, too. Oh, well.
Jeez.
So Rebecca says, pay attention. Basically, I lost a comment. I think she said, I'll be shipping you a very large package. All right.
Oh, wow.
Well, we'll be swinging by and checking it out. We usually try to make 1 to 2 trips a week to the post office, and we'll make more if we know something's coming. So thank you so much for letting us know that and sending something out.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you very much. Lauren says statistically this year could be a higher than average hurricane season for the Gulf. I certainly hope not.
And that's what Andrew said the other day. He's like, I just have a feeling it's going to be bad. I was like,
and I'm not negative, and I don't want to be that way, but when you're starting to see 88 degrees several days this week, 87, 88 degrees this early, and it was 80s for weeks and weeks and weeks, like a month and a half ago, that is bad. You do not want to heat, especially our Gulf up, with this hot of temperatures this early in the year, because it's only going to get hotter. That means early storms and bad storms. So I'm a bit nervous about that. I do not, even though I'm building hurricane ready solar panels, I really don't want to test them out. I don't want to break all this down. I don't really want to ride a hurricane out at all. I mean, it's such a stressful time and feeling and trying to get everything prepared and worried about the animals and all that stuff. So, but we'll cross that road when we get there. We chose to live in Florida, didn't we?
mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's got to deal with something where they live.
Storm shelter and trying
we
to
got plenty of backup power. That's for sure. All right, show them that.
Step out.
Yes.
All right, here's our final product. We're not going to plate it up because we're still full. Andrew might munch a little bit, but this is our smothered chicken breast with mushrooms and onions and provolone cheese with our okra out of the garden that's sauteed with onions as well. Real quick, easy meal on the Blackstone. And yummy,
good.
Delicious.
It is a good meal. I mean, mushrooms and sauce and cheese and chicken, all that goes together so well.
Well, I guess.
It smells so good. All right, let me catch another comment or so, and y'all, we're going to wrap this thing up, play fetch with the dogs. I got to go out there and check on the chickens and all that good stuff since we just got home. Let's see here. Oh, okay, Kevin. All right, he says he went with Stay Fresh. It's almost the same as a medium harvest wrap. Yeah, that's probably pretty expensive, but I will go check that out. I will. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Truly do appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for the extremely generous donations. And again, spending your day with us, watching our content, sharing the channel, helping us grow this thing. It really does mean the world to us. This is a dream come true, and it's because of y'all. So want to remind everybody, now that we're signing off, next Sunday is Easter. Very, very important day for us. We're going to go spend it with family. Hopefully you enjoy that day with your family if you celebrate it. We will not have a live stream as a result, but we'll catch back with, I can't speak. We'll catch back up with y'all the following week. Yep, at 7 p.m. Eastern that following Sunday. Yep. So just want to tell everybody good night. God bless. Y'all take care. We'll catch you on the next one.
Good night.
See ya.